Good morning, welcome back to Casa TexPina. We're on build day number 104 today. Got a big day ahead of us. They're going to be pouring the stairs. So today we're placing all the concrete in the stairs that are leading up to the media room. They're going to pour it today, and then they said they'll pull the forms off probably sometime next week. So they're going to let it have plenty of time to cure. So we'll be watching that as they get through that today. Also, they started pulling off the forms already for the 2 columns that they poured yesterday here on the front porch. They're going to be working today to fabricate the metal, the rebar cages for the beams that go across the top of it. So there'll be 2 beams that come from the wall of the building out to the 2 columns, and then one that crosses the 2 columns together. Okay, welders will be on site shortly. I'm actually here a little early because I wanted to make sure that we had the right person mixing concrete today. Stairs for me are very important, so I want to make sure that the concrete is not too wet. I don't want it to all flow out the bottom. Other than that, I believe there will be more plaster coating as usual. And then as people get in and they start getting to their workstations, I will take you guys around and show you what's going on for today. Like I said, big thing for today, stairs. So we're pouring stairs today. Okay, let's get started. This morning we're already getting started with lots of concrete. And this is all going into the staircase. And go follow Mr. Marlin here. See where where all the concrete goes. Hand it off through the window. Pour the concrete in, and Mr. Marlin, our foreman, is personally handling the staircase today.
so from the hallway side, this is the interim. They're still going to come back, finish this off, these 3 steps, and put the additional concrete up on top. But this was the first batch. Actually, this took 2 batches of concrete, 6 bags total. And yeah, this is Mr. Jericho's going to go through and work out the excess, put it where it needs to be. All right, we'll come back and check on this later. Back in here in the main room, Pablo's mixing more mortar, and Mr. Joel is putting plaster coat in the last wall inside of bedroom 3 that needs it. And then after this, I believe he's going to start moving over here to the Jack and Jill. At least that's what he's got set up for scaffolding. All right, let's go take a look back out where everybody else is at. Mr. Edmund is assisting with fabricating the fence posts. These are the columns, the rebar cages that'll be used for the fence posts. The engineer's brother-in-law showed up with a delivery today. We've got these are the HardyFlex planks. These are fiber cement board, 7 mm. They'll be using these around the building on the exterior for planking, make it kind of give that siding effect. That's what, at least that's initially what I'm thinking they're being used for. As they go through the day and start putting them into place, I'll show you where they go. We do have a new carpenter on site, and his job specifically is these HardyFlex. Okay, I believe that's mostly where some folks are at. Let's look here in the dirty kitchen. They're getting set up to continue doing hollow block. Oh, sorry, not hollow block. Do plaster coating here. The plumbers did not quite finish the PPR installation to the top, so a couple of my guys are at least putting the rough in piece of PPR in, and then the plumbers will fix it when they get back on site. Okay, also working out here. The welders are on site, and we are working the purlins up the west side of the garage. So they just got here not even 30 minutes ago, and they're almost to this stage already. Then they're going to turn the corner and go down the southern side of the garage, so basically the back of the garage, before they make the big turn and go here. We should be finished with purlins, I'm guessing probably tomorrow. Tomorrow being Friday, build day 105, we should be seeing those complete. With the exception of where this dormer window is going to be. They still have to work that dormer window and the one in the front for the hip roof for the front porch. All right, so we're trying something new I haven't seen here, and I haven't seen in the States in a very long time. But here they use, we're using fiber cement board. There's a name brand for it. It's called HardyFlex. That's very popular here in the Philippines. We're using the fiber cement board. Here is the exterior planking. I haven't seen planking on the States in a while, but here it's becoming the new fashion thing. So we're gonna throw it on. It gives the house kind of an old style American look. There is one other house here in the subdivision that has a very similar look, but theirs is done with all concrete as opposed to the HardyFlex fiber cement board. So what they're doing is they'll put it on, nail it to the wall. It goes on like regular siding does in the States. So this is 7 millimeter thick. It is waterproof, because it's all just basically fiber cement. So this isn't. They do have the exterior version. So as you can see here, they'll go ahead and they'll measure out the size they need, cut it down to size with a grinder. Once they cut it down to size with a grinder, they'll put it in place and nail it in. Now that they've got it cut, they'll put it up into place. They've already got it marked, so they put it on top of the nails that are still outside from the previous piece. That gives them the proper spacing and proper overlap to be able to they'll drill a pilot hole and come back and put in a concrete nail to hold it in place. Guys here on the front of the building are extending the columns to make sure they're up to height when they get ready for the welders to come out and put on the hip joint roof at a later point. But also with this, they're putting on the extensions of the beam of these columns so that they can put the beam across here that's going to be 10 foot in height. So it'll be 10 foot from the top of the floor to the bottom of the beam, and that'll go across the front and on both sides. Okay, so the guys here on the back working the fiber cement board planking have finished this little piece here on the bottom. They cut it to fit with around the window frame. They are doing it stacked. I did question about that, whether it should be stacked or staggered as we do with the concrete hollow block. It was explained to me by 3 or 4 of them at the same time. They prefer to do it stacked because they're not worried about water tightness. They believe the concrete wall is already watertight. So when they get done with this, they are adding the skim coat here at the bottom that's going to hide the joints where the butt joints, as they're called, where these pieces all fit up next to each other. So they'll do that with skim coat and then go over it and paint the whole thing when it's done. So this will get some more work and love at a later point, but for now they're continuing both sides. Looks like they're gonna try and go around the corner here. I'll just watch and follow along as we go throughout the day. Let's go take a walk around a little bit and see where everybody's at mid-morning. As I mentioned before, the welders have already finished the western face of the garage over the utility room. They are now headed up this section here on the back side of the garage, on the south wall of the garage, and working the purlins up that way. Underneath them are guys that are doing plaster coating. They have taken a bit of a break, moving somewhere else while they're welding up top so they don't get hot metal fragments dropped on their heads. They have already made the turn and gone up, started working up the stairs. From what I can see, these steps are looking good. When they get done with the other side, I'll go up and take another look at it on the scaffolding on the other side. Right now I can't do that. They're using that as a place to do their bucket brigade for the cement or for the concrete. All right, let's take a look inside bedroom 3. We're gonna cheat and walk through the walls again. Excuse me. All right, so we've got the rough coat done, so he's still got a little bit more thickness to add on, and then then he'll start screeding it and do the smooth finish when he gets done with that. Okay, so that's where most folks are at this fine morning. Mr. Pablo is still working, making mortar as needed for Mr. Joel that was just doing the plaster coating. And again, at where we started out at, my 2 carpenters also are metal guys. Most of these guys are jacks of all trade, and they are putting in they're doing the extensions for the rebar for the column so they can be up to the correct height before they start doing the beams that are going to come across about right here. just to make sure that we've got 10 feet from floor to beam, and then the beam's gonna go, it's gonna have a small wall on the front or on all 3 sides, and then the hip roof on top of that. All right, starting on the stairs after lunch. This is all the concrete has been poured. Mr. Jericho's here putting the finishing edges on it before it dries. Looks good. And I believe these forms will stay on for the rest of this week. I don't think they're pulling the forms off until Monday at the earliest. All right, let's go see what everybody else. Speaking of everybody else, all I had to do is turn around. We're working the purlins here above the garage area, getting ready to make a turn and go down the back of the house. So before I get metal droppings, I'm going down. All right, down here on the back on the ground, we're continuing to dig out the fence line. This post and that post hole are going to have to move outwards a little bit, because what we want to do is have them in line with the edge of the garage. So basically this edge needs to be in line with the garage, and then the rest of the column this way. So it needs to move at least half width this way. Same thing on the other side. So the foreman's already aware of it, and they'll be working to change that shortly. So like I said, about half width this way. That way the edge of the post is in line with the edge of the wall. If I can make it in through the edge of the post, I can make it into the garage, no problems. Okay, so we've got some of these cages. They're getting ready to go in where the posts are going to go. And they've got 2 post holes ready here on the corner. Well, sorry, 1 post hole ready here on the corner. So they got that squared up and going in. This one was done previously. Doing a little bit of backfill over here. Let's go look up here on the front. They've got the column extensions up for the front porch posts. And the rebar looks really good. It's all been bent properly to where it goes on the inside. Looks really good from here, what I can see. Now the next feat they're going to have to do is figure out how to get into the wall to be able to secure the beam that needs to go right here on both sides. Okay, let's go inside. So Joelle has moved over from bedroom 3 to the dirty kitchen. Sorry, Anjo, you cruise, you lose. So Mr. Joelle is taking over the dirty kitchen area. All right. Speaking of which, let's see if we can get over here and go see what Mr. Anjo and Mr. Allen have been working on. So this is the planking that they were working on today. Looks good from here. Now these seams that you see right here, I'm not sure if you can see them on the camera or not, will be gone over with skim coat putty to put inside, and that'll completely cover those up and help to seal it. Okay, they're turning the corner and getting ready to work their way around this way.
Looks like we're going to have to move our kubo just a little bit. The fence line's coming right along beside it, and the height will be just about the top of the kubo itself. So we're going to be up to here, and probably right here on the side. So yeah, looking at it from right along the edge of the property line. That's going to need to move a little bit. Okay, so let's go see what everybody else has been doing while I was flying my drone. Looked like they made a little bit of concrete. They made just a little bit of concrete because they poured the base of this fence post up here on the corner. So they put the fence post in, put the cage in the bottom. Oh, they haven't done it yet, but they're going to pour this down here at the bottom this afternoon. So they'll pour the first, pour this leg 4 inches thick and wet set the first course of hollow block. And that's what Mr. Marlin down here is marking off where the top of the hollow block needs to be. Okay, up in the front, they're marking out where the tops of the beams, the bottom of the beams need to be on the sides, and getting the forms ready. So they're marking locations now. They've got the bottom of the one marked for this side. They're getting ready to do that on this side. And over here, Mr. Gabby is sifting through the fill pile because it had a lot of large stuff in it. So he's clearing that out and getting it back to where it's just readily usable fill material. But they'll backfill most of these, most of the fence line and other locations throughout the building. Okay, let's take a look through, see what everybody else is doing. We did have some well, they're still working. Ooh, that was bright. They are working the purlins up on top, as I showed you on the drone footage. Here in the back, Mr. Joel was working here, but since they're doing purlins, he's getting metal dropped on him. He doesn't like that, so we're moving. And Mr. Anjo moved back in. I guess they're done with the hardy plank for today. So he's back to doing a little bit of plaster coat. Let's go see what's going on in the back of the rooms and the guest side of the house. Looks like Mr. Joel is prepping to do the hallway plaster coating. I'm walking through walls again. Don't mind me. Same thing coming out. Now I can see what he was doing. Yes, he's prepping to be able to do plaster coat here in the hallway. Stairs are looking very nice. Alright, so it's set enough to where I can actually step on it lightly. Hey, I can walk up to my attic now. Treading lightly.
Some of this is still just a tad wet, but that's all the way up. Looks very nice. I am very happy with these steps.
Well, it's yabba dabba do time. I guess I can still say that. Or, yeah, I'll save the other one for later. We got a lot accomplished today. Big thing is we got the stairs poured, the concrete stairs going up. I walked them. The steps are perfect. The Philippine area, where you do oro, plata, mata, to be able to go gold, silver, death, is actually the Spanish translation. That sequence works out perfectly. We start on gold and we end on gold. So that's going to be nice. The stairs are very smooth, easy walk. Okay, what else did we get done? We had the purlins up here come around the side, and they're actually working the back edge. One of the last pieces that they need to work for purlins before they start working the dormer window in the back and the front porch hip roof. That's two major things that got accomplished today. We pulled off the forms for the columns here for the front porch. They also extended those, and you can see the beginning of the braces for where the beams are going to go to form the bottom of the face on the front of the porch. What else did we get done today? Again, some more plaster coating. Oh, I remember. The fiber cement board. The fiber cement board, we did a small sample of it today, showing what that's going to look like. So the side of the house is going to have that plank look all the way around, with the exception of the front face here, where there's going to be a couple places that are stone clad. So we'll get to see that in the next coming weeks and months. Yeah, that's we got a lot done today. So until we see you guys again tomorrow, if you liked today's video, please give us a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of these videos, hit the Casa TexPina star right over here and you'll be subscribed. Hit the bell icon just below the view screen and you'll be notified of our next upload for your viewing pleasure. So until we see you again tomorrow, as the little striped buddy of mine used to say, TTFN, ta-ta for now. God bless. Thank you for watching. If you liked today's video, please hit like, subscribe, and hit the little bell icon to be notified when our next video becomes available.